So let's try to get the dough going. Let's see if I can get it. Fucking dang. Alright. See if we can get this thing cracking. Cracking, jacking. Alright, so we gotta go 3 cups of flour. Alright, so you go 3 cups of flour. I find making it with smaller batches by hand is easier to control the dough. So you'll go 3 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Now usually we'd use baking powder or yeast, but we don't have that. So it won't rise as much, but you can still do it. And then you'll go like 3 seconds with the oil. 1, 2, 3. And then to every 3 cups of flour, you'll do 1 cup of water. And that should be the best ratio right there. If you want to use the dough in a perfect world, you want to make it the night before, but not necessary. And you want to immediately just start moving it around. It'll get sticky, but it'll immediately start clumping, which is good. And if you overwater it, you can always just add a little bit more flour to toughen it up, right? Which in this case, I think I may have. So you just add a little bit, and then once it starts rolling around like that, right, you can see there, it's coming together. I keep my butter knife right there, and I'll show you why. Like that, right? Then you want to get it out onto your chopping board or whatever, and then you'll know you got a good mix if the dough should just kind of like slide right off your fingers. You got a good batch. You don't want to knead it too much. I actually found out that kneading the dough too much actually makes gluten the more you work the dough. So what you want to do is just kind of, shape it. You don't gotta work. I generally don't work it too tough. I kind of just gently coax it together like that. Try to get all your dry ingredients into the middle and just keep kind of folding it in. And as you can feel, it's a little bit sticky and wet. You'll just keep folding it in on itself like that, right? Once you know how to make the dough, I mean, you can buy bags of it at the grocery mart or whatever. Costs a few dollars, but I don't know. I kind of like making the dough myself. I once had a friend who I won't mention. He fancied himself a dough'ologist, but then he taught me the secret, and that's it. Now I'm the new dough'ologist. Yeah, so see, there you go. Look at that. See that? It's nice and fluffy and puffy. You know what I mean? You'll know it. You'll know the consistency because you'll just know. When the first time I made dough, I was so nervous because where I came from, there was no just running to the store. If I bought flour from somebody that worked in a kitchen, I was in prison. That's it. There was no running back to the store. The guy had to smuggle it out of the kitchen, and that was it. So I was nervous because I used to take calzone and pizza orders, and guys were expecting to get their pizzas and their calzones because some of them would pay up front. So it was nerve-wracking at first, but then once I became more confident in working the dough, it became old hat. So you'll just put it on like a chopping board or something, flour it up a little bit, and then you got your dough ball. Then what we'll do later in about a half hour, after this rest for about a half hour, we'll cut it into 4s or however many pieces you're making. So seeing that we're at the Gavin Foundation and all ingredients are free, we're gonna use it up and make calzones for everybody in the house. I'm doing it early because I'm going to spend the day with my lovely ex-wife and mother of my 2 beautiful children. And I got up early in the morning so I could do this, so I could make calzones for the guys, some staff members, some really good people here at the Gavin Foundation. They're actually have enrolled me in culinary school, and I'm just waiting to start that. I have no formal training in a kitchen, so I'm very excited about that for sure. Okay, so unfortunately we only have enough for 3 dough balls, because you always want to keep some flour for when you make your calzones, because you got to slide them around and you want to be able to. So what I'll do with this is I will just add a little bit less water, because now I don't have any room for error. But on the flip side, I ain't got some guy that's gonna chase me down the tier with a knife if I don't have this calzone ready. No, I did most of my time in minimum security this go around, and there were no knives. It's just me being a retard. All right, so let's go a little bit. Oh, into the water, depending on when you're gonna use the dough, the warmer it is, the faster the dough will rise, or actually, in essence, it will actually cook. So we're gonna try to use it within a couple of hours. So I'm using really warm water, but again, that's not too big of a deal. That as long as you get your dough ball, once you put it in the oven, you can spice up your dough if you want. You can add salt. Well, you always add the salt, but you can add pepper, you can add garlic powder, onion powder, things like that. But what we're gonna do today is we're gonna add that after, like to the outside of the calzones. So we'll put that out. So we'll make like an egg wash, some egg yolks. You could rub them down with. We'll do that before we cook it, the egg wash, and then when it comes out, we'll have like a nice garlic butter, and then we'll put the garlic butter all over the product, and then it's nice and moist with the butter and the garlic flavor. Then you'll shake out your salt, your pepper, you could put your grated cheese on there, and I like the red crushed pepper flakes. It just kind of makes it pop. You got the different colors and and I'm a firm believer in. See, this one's a little tough now, but that's okay, because I need that flour to make the calzones afterwards. We have to be able to move them around on the chopping board. I used to use a glass Snapple bottle for my roller. They weren't allowed in there, but again, neither was dough in my cell, so you acquire things, you know a guy who knows a guy. For the most part, they left me alone because they know I was a hard worker and I minded my business, so I kind of got free passes on little things like that. Really wasn't too much of a security threat. So you want to cover it, as you can see, and then you just want to leave it for a bit. I like to keep it in a warm place because it will toughen up if it's the air's getting at it, and you'll get that crusty kind of. So you want to wrap it like so, right? And yeah, that's it. So you just want to wrap it up. So now that's done.
So now what I'll do is I will attempt to make some burgers, bacon, and I gotta wash my hands again because I blew my nose. Yeah, so we'll make some bacon, burgers, and let those rest, because you got to remember they're going to cook again inside the calzone, so you don't want to make them overcooked or anything. So we'll do that. Okay. All right, so let's see. So that's what they look like, and we'll set a timer for. We'll just basically go by the time I cook the burgers and stuff. That'll be ample amount of time, and then we'll chop them up. All right.